wedding photos. Let me not hold the camera because I know it's not going to work if I do that. I'm basically utterly alone right now. And I don't have any ability to fill my prescriptions. They've been doing me a lot of good. I got committed. She called and said I was trying to kill myself. I wasn't. I was just trying to get to the lawyer and to the bank and stuff. But I've been locked up for the past 10 days. And I currently don't have internet access, a driver's license, insurance, or any of my disability check. It's all gone out of the bank. Don't send me money right now. You'll just be sending it to her. Hi. I had a few corals bleach. Dingo was looking really skinny and hasn't really stopped shaking since I got home. Are you still there, Mr. Conway? Sorry if the connection's shitty. I'm using cell phone roaming data just to make a live stream, just to basically just see if you were gonna show up, because you're like basically my best friend, and how pathetic is that? I did make some good friends while I was in there. They get out tomorrow. Tell you what, that medication will fuck you up, man. It was some good shit. I'd rather be on that than smoking pot, for sure. But it wouldn't do me any good. She's gone. She even took the fucking bath towels that I bought for us. She took my bath towel. I got dog piss all over the floor. And she took the fucking towel. It's just mean. Apparently somebody was trying to fuck with my car too. The shifting knob was broke. The fuck did I do to deserve this? I got an appointment with a fucking detective just because I want to, like, make sure she's not gonna try to kill me, basically. because I never imagined she would do this to me. You know? It's the detective that was investigating her ex-husband that burned alive 2 weeks before our divorce was finalized, or 2 weeks after, or whatever. I don't know if I can remember. I just remember the timing was really odd. And, well, you know, don't fuck with a Serbian. I wasn't aware I did anything to fuck with her per se. My mom died, and I dared to stand up for myself. That's basically how it went. She started talking to this guy. And it was all fine that she was talking to him because he was so happily married. That's what I heard over and over again. Then he got divorced in November. And she's been miserable with me ever since. And every time I look at her phone, she's talking to Chris. What the fuck would you think? The way she's doing this says it all. I need my fucking medication. I was basically having heart palpitations for the first 5 days straight as the doctors ignored me. And then finally the techs talked to the doctor for me. The doctor didn't even look at you when he asked questions. But the fucking hospital staff, by and large, was great. I really enjoyed being around New Orleans people again. I miss having people to talk to. I miss having good, true, Christian, down-to-earth people. Not just gossiping fucking liars. I can't believe her best friend, her supposed best friend, next door neighbor, doesn't know that she ever cheated on me. That's fucking fascinating to me. Like, what kind of picture has she been painting in their heads this whole time? I can only wonder. I'm sure I look like a total asshole. But, you know, all I did was try to rescue her, and I stayed working in the beginning until she was on the phone outside and lost track of Dingo, and then I had to run after him and fucking hurt myself. And she promised to go to work. Promised to help, you know, support the family that was becoming a family, and I didn't think that was a problem because they were technically her children. I sure as hell hadn't realized Layla was mine by that point. Not for sure, anyways. Kind of had a feeling. It took a long time of Layla just growing up into being just like me in so many ways before I really became certain that she was mine. And now she's gone. And all I have is a picture of her comforting me while I was being verbally abused. And I got a big fat symbol. But yeah, so she told these people that I wasn't taking my medication. To which I replied, what medication? Ah. Hey, look, it's hair. So, now I'm on some medication, and I don't have any of it. And I was certainly wanting to stay on this medication because it made the heartbreak go away. It made it harder to cry. It made me lose focus a lot. But I was having heart palpitations. Just constantly. Just my heart was just beating out of my fucking chest. They wouldn't let me see a fucking physical doctor. I didn't have a stethoscope put on my fucking chest since I met with the EMTs outside. I was trying to get my heart palpitations looked at. When she called and said I was trying to kill myself. I thought I was dying of a heart attack. I wanted to save my own life. She called and told them I was suicidal. She convinced me that she was the girl I met 30 years ago in New Zealand. She pretended like she believed this. But if she believed it, how did she do this to me? I've been locked up since the last stream you saw me make. Literally hours later, I was taken away against my will, forced to wear the same underwear for 5 days. In public. Just walking around in a fucking circle. Having to get permission to smoke cigarettes. Having to get permission to use the phone. Having to keep a big sheet of phone numbers just so I could use the phone because I wasn't allowed to use my phone. And now, in addition to no insurance and no license, to which, most people have said, boy, she planned this out well. I have no internet access. So I just have nothing to do right now. And of course, I don't really have anyone else to talk to. All our friends were mutual friends. I allowed myself to get into that situation. That's how committed I was to this woman. I allowed myself to get into a very codependent situation. And it was pretty stupid of me. But despite the fact that I had a doctor who, he seemed to get a little better about it once the whole fucking group of people there was bitching about it. Yeah, she canceled the internet. It's gone. Hey Max, good to see you, little brother. Oh shit. I don't know what I'd do without you guys. I probably would have been suicidal. You know, I mean, I fucking mentioned it a couple times. I immediately corrected myself. Not even want to like verbalize that kind of feeling on the channel because, you know, anybody with suicidal thoughts should find this place as a refuge. They should find in me somebody who's been through hell and back and can survive every time. And I can. And at the risk of, you know, feeling sorry for myself on record, this is my only outlet, you know. And I could get over this heartbreak. That's no problem. What I can't get over is my baby. I've been pacing around in circles for the past 10 days, thinking this is the last I'm going to see of my children. I've just been fucking holding this. When I had to do something, I put it up my sleeve. And I can talk all I want about Kira and I'm fine. But every time I think about them, oh man, I just can't stop crying. They used to hold me when she was mean to me. They used to tell me everything was okay, and they used to tell me they love me and say, it's okay, Daddy. They were my strength. And I thought she would get better over time. But I should have known she needed treatment. I never realized how badly she needed treatment until I was just getting treatment. And I did benefit from this, man. I'm like a fucking new man. I've been doing 180 push-ups a day. Like, it's on, you know, like, okay. Sean is no longer scrawny. In 10 days. You know? But now that medication is fucking wearing off. And all I got is a little bit of weed that she left me. I was about to just leave that at Dave's. I'm glad I didn't. I don't really want to smoke anymore. Like, I don't want to smoke pot anymore. It's fucking crazy, but compared to what I was just on, but I can't even go get my medication because I don't have a fucking license. I don't have any money. They didn't give me any to take with me, which is shocking, but they said they couldn't. Fucking doctor did not look. I mean, how he's literally just not looking up. Just not looking up. And heavily medicating people that he's not even looking at. He didn't even learn my name until the last 2 days. I saw him. It's not like I'm a hard motherfucker to remember, you know? He was asking me if I thought people were out to get me, asking me if I had a place to go. Like he just refused to acknowledge what the real story was. I was literally afraid that she might fucking try to have me killed. I mean, the last nigga died, burned alive in his sleep. And the way she screamed, you know, y'all heard it. I hope you die shit. I hope you drop dead. Knowing that I have fucking heart problems. I have hypertensive disorder, okay? Look that shit up. It's not nice. It's like hypertension, only it's more irregular. I say hypertension just because that's what people know about. But I felt like I was gonna die. I didn't want to die. I was just panicking. This is just too much shock for one person to handle. I mean, what would you do if you, like, tried to take care of people? I mean, I'm not saying I succeeded. I was trying my best. You know, my mom died and I got a little depressed and I wasn't willing to be verbally abused anymore. I just didn't want to take her shit anymore. And that was why she started talking to this other guy, whatever. You know, and I don't fucking blame her. You know, she's got to look out for number one, I guess. I don't know why the fuck she would stay with me this long anyways. It's like, if it wasn't real, why the fuck did she bother? Should have left me a long time ago. Before those kids knew me as their only dad. I'm the only dad they have. I'm the stay-at-home dad. The reason why she didn't stay home is because she wasn't good at staying home. She would get severely fucking depressed. And the idea that she's gonna be their only parent now is really frightening to me. I know she's probably maintaining quite well for now. But I'm worried about the long-term future. I'm worried about their mental health. Because I know the damage, the disability until I'm off of it. And I'm going to try to find a way to fucking give her money otherwise. Because I want to take care of my kids. But, you know, the only time I've put my herself and her daughter, Katrina, got... The only time I beat Katrina's ass in the past several years. Anything short of just like outright disrespecting her mother, and you know, it's like, take her phone away. If she disrespects me, take her phone away. But when she would get like really fucking buck wild with her mother, I had to intervene. So I don't see like how it could be possible that Katrina, especially not Layla, because, you know, naturally she's gotten out of ass beatings at a younger age, because as I stopped, you know, spanking Katrina, I basically stopped spanking Layla at the same time a couple years ago. She's only got one horrible butt whooping with a belt in the past year. Other than that, it's been like maybe a single pat on the ass with my hand. It's always been in this house, like, refusal to do chores, refusal to stop fucking whining and throwing a fit after being asked to do chores. the only like thing that gets a child a butt whooping. They fucking get away with a lot around here, you know. I'm not a strict parent, but I want them to learn. I wanted them to learn how to clean up after themselves, and not whine about basic responsibilities. Meanwhile, I've been loving this woman, and she's been talking about me like I've been whining about basic responsibilities. When again, the whole reason I've been staying home is because she wasn't any good at staying home. And she told me she wanted to go to work. Then, of course, yeah, she blamed it all on me and told me that I was fucking enslaving her. I had a good job when I met her. I was on my way to getting off of disability altogether when I met her. And she was outside watching Dingo. And I fucking hurt myself. Because I tackled him on concrete, basically. I like jump flipped over him, like judo style. Or jiu-jitsu style, excuse me. You know, kind of similar to the Kimura I had to put her in when I had to run after her when she went to grab a fucking kitchen knife to stab herself with. And I had to fucking, like movie style, keep the knife away from her and then put her in a fucking Kimura to get it out of her hand. While the girls stood here and cried. That's why I'm afraid for them right now. I'm afraid for their safety. I'm afraid for their mental health. I'm afraid for their overall well-being. My dad's about to achieve liquidity. This was a pretty stupid time for her to leave. Now what am I going to do? Waste all the fucking money on lawyers? I might. Fuck, I might hire Heidi. I've been saying over and over again, do you want me to go back to work? Every time she loses a fucking job, every time she hates a job, which is every job she has, after telling me she wants to be the one to go to work, she blames me for how much she hates her trying to get it to where she didn't have to work. To where we could just be financially independent. I was trying to get things done before that. But again, I've been wanting to go back to work this whole damn time. And I don't think I've ever wanted to go back to work more in my life than I do right now. She can have that bullshit little tiny ass disability check that I get. I don't need it. Be nice if I had, after being incarcerated against my will for 10 days, even though I wasn't on any medications, she told them I was on medications, wasn't trying to kill myself, she told them I was trying to kill myself. She was in fact the one who said, I hope you die 4 fucking times, as she left, with the hatch still open. So she falsifies this fucking police report on me. come back and I got no internet access. In addition to no money, no car insurance, and no license. The Rainbow Monopora is bleached. The temperature in the tanks was in the 60s. The return pump had stopped pumping. I'm lucky it didn't fucking blow up. Good old Hagen Aquaclear. Any name brand powerhead would have burned the fuck up and put oil in your tanks. Okay. That Rio might have burned up and just died again if I would have installed that new pump by now. So I'm very glad I am guided by the Force. The only thing I ever do resembling procrastination is when I have a feeling. Okay. I have feelings about things. She used to trust those feelings. She used to understand that I was not a lazy person. I'm in fact a workaholic. As you guys might know, from just how much I fucking put into trying to stop Russia from stealing our democracy. But that was never worthwhile to her, unless it made money. I should have saw that as a big warning sign. Do not marry this woman. But I like to think that mothers have an instinct to, find a provider. And I thought I could still provide, even on the terms that she forced me to accept of her not being able to stay home with the children and keep sanity. She could not stay home with the children and keep sanity. Period. I'm just so worried about them now. Like, who's going to break up the fights between her and Katrina? How long is it going to go well for? That's what I'm worried about. What happens when Chris learns who she really is? When things get stressful. I thought I could handle her. Good luck, motherfucker. I was making more than $4,000 a month when I met her. Now I have nothing. But if I could just get my damn meds, I wouldn't care. My new meds. I haven't been on a medication for 15 years, just in case anybody's wondering. The last medications I was on were Depakote and Trazodone. And they did me absolutely no good whatsoever. All they did was cause severe migraines. I had a migraine for 5 days straight, upon which time I went outside and asked the transsexual black neighbors to hit their blunt. My headache instantly went away. But now, the new medication is so good I don't even want to smoke pot anymore. But at the moment, I don't have my fucking meds. They prescribed me to Risperdal, that's Rispetal, or DAL, and Vistaril, which is an antihistamine that's used for anxiety. First 5 days, I think, I was on the Risperdal alone, and my heart palpitations were still quite severe. And again, they wouldn't let me see a fucking real doctor. They just kept putting me on the fucking blood pressure machine. That didn't really help. Then I got the anti-anxiety med. Oh, it felt like I'd fucking smoked a 40 ounce and drank a blunt, okay? That shit had me toe up from the flow up. I'd fucking just passed out in the middle of the day, missed a group, like... some good shit. One thing I was afraid of was that it makes me kind of miss drinking. I don't want to relapse on alcohol. Holy shit. I got that fucking bottle in there in the bottom of the fridge just calling to me right now. Come get lost in me. I don't want to drink again. I don't want to be an alcoholic again. I got a bunch of guys from AA's phone number, and I'm going to start going to AA meetings. Just because I don't want to fucking drink again. I don't want to be an addict. I never wanted to be an addict. I thought I was smoking pot because it was the best thing for me. And you know, it was. Until now. I don't need this bullshit anymore. I just don't need it. I found a new way of doing push-ups. I now do them 10 at a time until I reach 180 a day. And it's been helping my back in ways I did not fucking believe possible. And it's just got me wanting to fucking just work like a fucking maniac, man. I'm thinking about going to the grocery store just so I have something physical to do. Like, oh god. Bullshit. If I'm deluding myself and I wind up fucking my back up, you know, oh well. At least I tried again. One way or the other. I got shit to do first thing this morning. I already slept my 4 hours. And well, without the medication in my system, oh, I'm feeling kind of manic. I can't believe how many more dishes got used while I was gone. That's just bizarre. I didn't think anyone was fucking living here. Yet all the fucking dishes got used again. Like all of them. They're just sitting everywhere. Glad they've been eating. I had enough shit to do when I first got home, panicking with the fish tanks. Zoom was about to die. He was in the corner, not moving. I didn't know what the hell was wrong. It took me a while to realize it was the temperature that was the problem. The AC was on 66. I don't know why the hell that was. I mean, it's been fucking freezing the past few days. As soon as I warmed it up, he got up. He could have starved to death like that if I didn't get out when I did. was looking pretty skinny. Me, oh, I'm barely able to resist doing more push-ups right now. In fact, if y'all don't mind, I'm just gonna like do some push-ups right quick. Okay, that's 10. I've been doing 180 one day and then off. Dingo, stop chewing. Hey, put it out. Put it out. Put it out. Is that sitting has become easier. Not so much sleeping. I can still really fuck myself up sleeping for more than 4 hours. I did that a couple times, and I had to like, oh, I had to fucking PT for like 4 hours straight just to get my back right. Sitting there walking in a fucking circle, doing my little boxer jive walk, you know, my little kung fu power walk or whatever. It's like power walking, only not as gay as my dad looks when he does it. If I sleep for more than 4 hours at a time, my back just doesn't want to be functional. But sitting, man, I can sit straight up without throbbing, thanks to these push-ups I'm doing. That's good enough. So I could either go try to take a sales job or just go back to the grocery store. I'm not sure what I want to do. But I know I'm going to start looking tomorrow as soon as I get a new bank account. I'm just going to let the disability go to her so she can, you know, spend it on the kids. Maybe one day I'll get to see him again. I've just been fucking walking around holding this fucking picture I drew of them. I can't believe they're not in their bed sleeping right now. My babies. There you go, stop chewing. Oh, fuck you. Just been walking around like and I've never really done a straight colored pencil sketch before as far as faces go. I only have recently done a few car renderings like that. But it came out okay. I think I'm going to do some more push-ups now. I have to do them inverted. My back can't take a regular push-up. And I've been thinking all this time that it wasn't worth it. Well, man, it's so totally worth it. Probably going to be doing them one-handed in no time. Shit. All right, that's 20. Don't scroll the chat, Simba. Don't scroll the chat. Simba, stop pressing buttons. Oh my God, he's about to cancel the live stream. Don't block Mr. Conway. Simba's like, remove moderator. Oh, jeez. Tell you what, man. If anything's ever bugging you, I recommend push-ups. Just do some push-ups. Don't feel like doing anything else, do some push-ups. Lacking motivation, just do some push-ups. Just force yourself to do push-ups. 5 at a time, 10 at a time. Work your way up. I met this dude named Corey. I made some good fucking friends. It was like fate, the way I was making friends in this place. Okay, I made some lifelong friends in this place. I met this guy named Corey. I wouldn't count him as like a lifelong friend or anything, but he was the guy that did my intake, and he was cool, man. Probably 6'5" or 6. And had the fucking biggest shoulders I've ever seen on somebody who wasn't like a thick-boned Neanderthal, you know? And I didn't have to ask him what he did to get that way, because he told me what he was doing. He would go and do 100 push-ups at a time. Even 50 if that's all you could get in. If that's all you had time for between duties. I don't mean like duties. I mean like, you know, job responsibilities. The man's not just shitting all the time, okay? But he does do a lot of push-ups. Something like 300 a day. Breaking them up into different increments. I mean, I'm talking a fucking massive shoulder and chest on this guy. Like, he just looked like he could just rip my arms off. And that's all he does, is push-ups. And I never thought of just breaking them up over the course of a day. I was talking to him about it, and he's like, because of my back, suggesting I do fucking 10 at a time. I never even considered that, just 10 at a time. That's what I've been doing since my second day there. Working my way up, 10 at a time. Last night, or yeah, the day before, I did 120. The day before that, I did 180. The day before that, or you know, like skip a day. Like you don't do them every day. You gotta do one. You gotta do them one day and then off the next day, and then do them one day and then off the next day. Otherwise, you'll just fuck your shit up, you know. You gotta have that rest period to actually grow the muscle. So one day I lost track around 170, 180. And the next day I lost track around 180, 190. Wasn't even sure, I might have done 200. So I just averaged it out. 180. Seems like a good number to shoot for. And whether or not I go back into sales or whether I wind up stocking shelves, I'm keeping up with this bullshit. What do y'all think? Think you got it in you to do some push-ups there, laddies? 10 at a time. Just every time you fucking think of it. Just keep counting up after 10, you know? There's my 10, there's 20, I'm on 20, I'm on 30, I'm on 30, I'm on 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. Every fucking 10, 20 minutes or so. Like, now. I lost count, so I think I did some extras. Or tried to do some extras. But anyways, 30. Look, it's only been an hour. Anyways. I met a, who's still here? Mr. Conway, Max, y'all still here? Mr. Conway's still here. I have an interesting development. Met a young man named Jonathan. 25 years old. Graphic artist. Currently 6 months from graduating college. Wants to go to work for EA Games in Baton Rouge, which is rather convenient. Because EA Games is exactly who I was trying to integrate with. Anyone who thinks they can fuck with the Master of Fate is welcome to try. Flawed, weak, human, emotional, oh yes. But I'm still me, dearies. And don't you ever fucking forget it. Or something might happen to you. And I wouldn't want that. And let it be known that I was myself while I was there. And nobody made a mention of it. And here I am. No coroner's report or anything. Voluntarily in, voluntarily out. Yes, I volunteered to go in. They forced me to get there, but there's a different little thing where you can refuse to sign yourself in. And then they have to have a coroner see it within 72 hours. No. I probably could have gotten out. Didn't want to. They wanted to keep me in there. I was going to let them. That's not to say they would actually let me out. They won't let you out. But I was on voluntary basis on paper. And I never tried to sign myself out. And man, I would have stayed in there longer if they wanted me to, without complaining. The only thing I was worried about was the aminals over here. I was worried about my dingo. Worried about the kittens inside. Lainey has gotten so big. Like, she's like a full-grown cat now. It's not right. Lainey, Lainey, Lainey. They fucking missed me. They were both like all up on my lap. I had Simba and Misha. It was so good to be missed. I do want to do a more professional video of this, but made a little art project. A group drawing on a table. Okay, that's way too big to unroll in here. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to call my old bosses. Both of them. I think that's my first job move. If you're watching Murface, I'm probably going to move back to Metairie and just let you have this place if you want it. If you don't, I'll pay for it until you get your shit or whatever. But before I get a job around here, first thing in the morning I'll be calling Leonard and Joey. Not Joey Bellucci. No. That motherfucker abandoned me in my time of need. Just suddenly wasn't there for me. Franklin, motherfucker, you text my wife too much. That's why I was adamant about Lacey texting her. You know? But sometimes when nobody else wants to follow the rules, I just say, fuck it. Well, I couldn't possibly get like that. Did I mention I was human? I needed to. But then again, brainwashing is sometimes hard to undo. And anybody who wants to treat someone else like they're not human or not supposed to be human, invariably, the reasoning behind it is a direct product of brainwashing. You got to really hate God to use one of his servants the way I feel like I've been used. You got to really hate God to expect a fellow Christian to have no shoulder to cry on. You got to really hate God to tell someone who's been live streaming every night for the past 4 years that when it comes to the time of their absolute torment and heartbreak, they shouldn't live stream. Oh, what should I do? Refrain from telling the truth? Kill herself and her own children. Now she's gone. I'm worried. She needs help. And there's no way she's going to volunteer to get it. Glad I got left with just enough to hold me over until I get my prescriptions tomorrow. Stepdad's gonna take me, get my license squared away. I need to fucking write down a to-do list, actually. Again, unlike the to-do list that I had Monday morning last Monday. Now I get to have my last Monday morning, Thursday, a week and a half later, after being locked up largely against my will. I was cooperative. Like I said, I was cooperative. I was technically voluntarily. But that shit started completely against my will by a false report. And she know how to do that because I told her my mom had got me by a false report. See? She knew all about my mom having done it falsely. So she did it again, falsely. I have never claimed to not be crazy. But actually trying to kill myself, wanting to kill myself. Y'all heard me. Y'all heard how fucking upset and shocked I was. But every time I mentioned just kind of wanting to die, I immediately corrected myself, didn't I? Because I don't even want to set a fucking bad example in a little pity party. Because suicide is stupid. Suicide is selfish. And I'm not a selfish person. Let that shit be known. You'd have to be pretty fucking stupid not to already know it. Either that, or you've been believing somebody's lies. And you'd have to be believing somebody's lies. You'd have to be brainwashed to be callous to another person at a time of need. So you'd have to be brainwashed to tell someone whose only comfort is their live stream that they shouldn't live stream. Because it certainly isn't a very Christian thing to wish upon someone that they be left utterly alone with no one to talk to. After such a terrorizing shock as this. My babies are gone, and I've been told they don't want to see me anymore. You want to come and read through my... I'm not editing my shit. I'm not deleting what I want. You can see how she's been bitching me out about shit that happened 8 years ago. And I've just been trying to reason with her. I need to do some more push-ups. Don't pop your elbows. It's really easy to do when you're upset, but don't do it. What's that, 40? Yeah, 40. I did 12, so it's technically 42. But 40. It's kind of like doing lightning strikes on Final Fantasy X. Only worth the effort. Well, no, I can't say that. It's still worth the effort to do the onion night, you know. It's a fucking onion night. But let's face it. Your health is more important than the fucking onion night, isn't it? Anybody telling me I shouldn't do my live stream, I think let's just accept it as a general rule that you've been bullshitted. No matter who you are, no matter what you think your reasoning is behind telling me to be silent, telling me I shouldn't do my live stream, means you've been brainwashed somehow, some way. Somebody's been lying to you, and you've turned against your fellow man. And I'm starting to think them people bitching about Eve in the Garden of Eden with the apple. Fuck it, maybe they were right. Or maybe I've just been tempted by a succubus. Maybe I just was awakened by a case of mistaken identity. Sounds like a good song lyric. Oh, fuck, I'm getting hungry again. I've been eating way too much. Put on them cuts, man. Put on them cuts. I don't even know what that means, but I just said it for no reason. Yeah. But he shouldn't be live streaming because why? Because I hope you die. I hope you die. I hope you drop dead. I hope you drop dead. That's what she told me before she left. And I was just thinking, I love you too, honey. Hey, come on, if I can't laugh about it. I must say, I remember the place being a bit cleaner when I left. Funny how that works. She left me for not cleaning up enough. Interesting how much gets, doesn't get done while I'm not here. I wonder how long it's been since the AC filter was vacuumed. I'm glad I fixed it before I was locked up. And when it all comes down to it, she would have more money right now if she hadn't fucked me. I've been saying, let me go take the DFI job. Let me go work at Keller Williams. Oh, it should be on my list. Like, okay, so, I was the one who told her, basically, how to do her job here. So I was just wondering if you'd let me come do it instead. Creating a sense of urgency. I'm not sure she knows what that means. But I can guarantee you that was my line. I was sitting right here and told her to say it right before she said it. And her boss was impressed. But maybe they just want a girl to do that job. Or maybe she's just talked all kinds of mad shit about me. Instead of, trying to get us an investor. Because she just was leaving me for another man to begin with. Talking shit about me just to take pride in herself. Oh yeah, he'd be lost without me. I think it's the other way around, dear. I've allowed you to take care of me because I took care of you. And that's the way it is. You couldn't handle that. You couldn't handle taking care of somebody else. It was too much to ask. I understand that now. And I don't blame you for leaving. But you could have just been honest about it. You could have counted on me to be the adult in the room. Because I always am. And all the shit you talk about me to other people is never going to change that. We could have broken up in place. Hell, I'd been happy to just sleep in shifts with you. Don't want to fucking, if you want to share a bed with somebody else, stop acting like you want to share one with me. grass is always greener. And this fucking grass has been brown for a long time. This grass is dead. But you knew that going in. Thought you were my ride or die chick. Off now at 5:30 in the morning to put my stepdaughter on the bus. I'm usually awake already. That's my alarm clock that I set so she could sleep in. She used to get up at 5. I started letting her sleep till 5:30 so she could get some extra rest. We used to get up and have an extra 20 minutes just to watch stupid shit on TV. I miss having that time with her. But I wasn't thinking of myself. I was thinking of her. And I let her sleep in an extra half hour every day. And sometimes I'd get myself a little 20 minutes of rest. My wife tells people I sleep all day. When would that be? Because she's usually the one telling me to go lay down. I'm manic, okay? If you want to call me mentally unstable, get it right. I'm fucking manic. You know what that means? That means when I get my mind on something, I don't fucking stop. It means I'm a maniac. I suffer from mania. I'm not a paranoid schizophrenic. I'm not bipolar. I'm not even depressed. I'm sad. I'm heartbroken. I'm still fucking in shock, quite frankly. But depressed? No. Depressed people don't do push-ups. I was depressed about my mom dying. I was depressed that earlier when I felt like I was in need and I had to go somewhere because I just couldn't take being in this house quite yet. And especially not with all the pictures of my babies gone. Just that extra bit of cruelty. I went to my mom's and realized she's dead. Right when I pulled up. And that I was just going to bug the last man she married. And I just cried and headbutted my fucking steering wheel for a while. And straightened up and ate a bunch of Dave's food. Fuck, I'm hungry. Can't do push-ups without food, man. Is it too late to have myself recommitted? Just for breakfast. It's a good fucking breakfast, man. Eggs and sausage and something every day. Hash browns, pancakes, French toast. I'm just like mixing it all together and adding salt. Just But see, when you could say you're depressed about something, and you're not just like sad and you don't fucking know why. When it's not just you're bouncing from one thing after another and everything's fucking making you miserable. That's not depression. That's sadness. That's situational. That's human emotion. That's healthy. I don't suffer from depression. I survive it. I grow stronger from it every single time. Just for me, being depressed is just situational. It's just temporary. It's sadness. It's not the illness known as depression. People want to sound fancy, so they got to use big words when the word you're looking for is sad. I want to sound fancy too, because I'm one of them smart YouTube guys. Oh yeah. I like them apples. Oh, I hope I can get Dave to buy me a pack of cigarettes tomorrow. That's one thing I'm not going to be able to quit just yet. Weed? Oh, no, I want my meds. I don't want weed anymore. No, y'all just don't understand. If you didn't get the point of that story earlier about the Depakote giving me a migraine and then weed curing the migraine, let me just continue. If I'd have had this back then, I'd have never started smoking weed again. I had been sober for a long fucking time at that point. A long time. I didn't want to start smoking weed again. It was just the only thing that worked. And it has been the only thing that worked for quite some time. But man, let me just tell you this. I'm going to do some more push-ups now. And 50. See what I'm saying? Hoorah. I've also been hanging out with some Marines. And I got full respect. One in particular, who was in there, a couple guys came to visit him, and one LSU nursing student, for some reason, half the guys I became friends with were named John. But this guy's name was Nick. Or Steve or something, yeah. I'm not supposed to be naming names. So his name was Vic or something. Yeah, Vic. Let's just call him Vic. Vic getting discharged for going suicidal after letting himself go for a while. And man, I had to talk to that boy. I had to tell him my story for his own good. I was scouted for naval intelligence when I was 16 years old. I signed my first non-disclosure agreement when I was 16 years old, man. And I got hit by a fucking car right before I graduated. And my spine was bent at a 90-degree angle. My left rib got cracked from hitting into my hip. I had matching bruises on my hip and side. Not from the impact of anything but those two body parts. I couldn't lift a glass of tea off to the side for 3 years. I could barely lift one at all for a year and a half. And I said, motherfucker, do you know what I wouldn't do to have your back? Do you know how little excuse you have to quit? I'm in constant pain. I cut myself shaving and it doesn't even register. They're sitting there looking at me like some shit hurts because I used a fucking little shitty straight razor in there. I'm like, does it really look that bad? Because, you know, with the whole throbbing of the spine thing that I constantly deal with. Even now, I'm okay. That don't mean the pain has gone away. That just makes it more manageable because I got muscle expanding around it. Okay? But, you know, I could just stab myself to feel something else. If I wanted to feel something besides this fucking back pain, okay? As fucked up as that sounds, I don't do that. But, like, it's tempting sometimes. Just I want something else to hurt so this doesn't hurt anymore. You know, hit myself in the foot with a hammer or something. Yeah. I'm like that all the time. I'm in that level of pain all the time. And you know what? I could give a rat's ass. If they would still take me, I would fucking love to serve. I just need to do more push-ups. What am I on, 50? Ah, 60. $180, here I come, baby. I'm just gonna set my cigarette down on paper without thinking of it. Yeah, the meds are good. They're still in my system, that's for sure. Smoking a 40, drinking a blunt. Yeah, I was saying that over and over again while I was on them, too. It's like my fucking slipper shoes still on, one foot on the bed, one foot off the bed, just lying on my back. Oh yeah, they were laughing at me when I woke up. Met the fucking great people in there, man. I met a gorgeous, I mean gorgeous, oh, so gorgeous, 21-year-old black girl that was giving me more than the time of day. And that was just a fucking good self-esteem boost, if there ever was one. I had people guessing I was fucking... One person guessed I was 27 years old. getting guests between 27 and 32. I'm like, thank you. Older people and younger people. I'm almost 40. I had somebody guess I was 27. Black dude. I think that's one of the reasons why I felt like so motivated to do the push-ups. Like, well, yeah, fuck. If I still look that good, might as well make the most of it, you know? I was hanging out with this 21-year-old black girl the last few days. Oh, fine little thing. Preacher's daughter. And she was preaching to me. And I was just like, putty. Yes, mold me, motivate me. Preacher sister. Girl could sing too. I might try to take her on a date one day. Won't be soon. Anyway. Nothing says, like, nothing quite represents a good message from the universe that shit's gonna be okay